My name is David Finlay. I'm a fourth generation professional wrestler. My father is Fit Finlay. My grandfather wrestled. My great-grandfather wrestled. My aunt was a referee. My brother, sister, and I were all amateur wrestlers growing up. So I come from a 100% wrestling family. Wrestling was always encouraged, but never pushed. I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, but I love wrestling so much. So that's what I decided to do with my life. So once I graduated high school, I went to England for 6 months and wrestled over there, wrestled around the States for a bit. I went over to wrestle in Japan for New Japan Pro Wrestling since 2015. When I moved to Japan, it was really difficult. My first day of training in the dojo, we started off with 1,000 squats, and I didn't know one word in Japanese. I had no idea what number we were on. I had to watch the clock to figure out how deep in we were. Training in Japan came with a lot of challenges. It took me a while before I could kind of understand the language. It took me a while before I got into the swing of things. It's a tough system. I mean, they humble you and they break you down and they make you start from ground zero. This is actually my first time back in a Ring of Honor ring since February of 2019. The last time I was in an ROH ring, it was Juice Robinson and myself versus the Briscoes at Korakuen Hall in Tokyo for the ROH Tag Team Championships. And I dislocated my shoulder in the match. Tore half my labrum. I was out for 8 months. I had to have surgery to repair everything. So this, to me, is a chance to redeem myself. I had championship gold opportunity in my hands, and life happened, I got hurt. This is a chance to get championship gold in ROH again. Facing Rocky Romero is bittersweet. On one hand, he's my mentor, and I know him pretty well. I used to do his laundry when I was in the dojo, so I have a lot of respect for him. On the other hand, this is a competition and I do have to win. The upside of that is I have known Rocky since 2015. I've been around him for a very long time. I know him really well. I know what makes him tick. Rocky Romero is sneaky. Matter of fact, we call him the king of sneaky style. But I know what you're gonna do before you do it, Rocky. I know the moves you make before you make them. My finishing maneuver, pick a guy up, I drop his head right on my knee. I call it Trash Panda. It's been pretty effective for me. I've also been working on a leg submission for the past couple months. Since I knew about the Pure tournament, I decided I need to expand on my arsenal. I've been fine-tuning a leg submission. I might even break my leg submission out on Rocky. I might have to. He's faster than me. I need to slow him down. I need to keep him in one spot if I'm gonna win this match. I need to stay in control. This will help me stay in control. The Pure tournament is a tournament where every one of us that has entered this gets to showcase what we're best at, gets to showcase pure wrestling. No punches to the head, you get a limited amount of rope breaks. It's man against man, and we have to figure out who the best one is. I think that's me.
My name is Rocky Romero. 20 plus years in the professional wrestling world. In Ring of Honor, former multiple time tag team champion. Been competing with Ring of Honor on and off since 2004. Yeah, I've shared the ring with multiple Pure champions. John Walters, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, just to name a few. I've always been a fan of the Pure title and kind of what it stands for, and just that it's down to the basic principles of professional wrestling, and that's what I really fell in love with when I started as a wrestler, and especially when I first came to Ring of Honor. So here I find myself 15, 16, 17 years later in a title opportunity, you know, in this tournament. It's really the only thing that I've been thinking of for the last couple of weeks, because this is an opportunity for myself to do what I couldn't do as a young man. When I first joined the New Japan Dojo in Los Angeles in 2002, that probably prepared me the best for this situation. For 2.5, 3 years was just getting my butt kicked by, you know, greats like Antonio Inoki, learning the catch as catch can style, working on the submission strikes, and I feel like all the preparation that I've done with MMA and jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, those are the things that have kind of prepped me the best for this tournament. David Finlay joined the New Japan Dojo in Japan, and he was in a Best of Super Junior tournament, and that was the first time that I encountered a very young and different David Finlay than who he is now. You know, he was very green at the time, a little wet behind the ears. You know, definitely not to the man that he's really grown into in the last couple years. Knowing David's weaknesses and strengths, yeah, that's going to be helpful, but I think I'm gonna have to just outsmart him. You know, I just think that having the experience factor is gonna be the true difference, because there's a big gap in how long I've been a professional wrestler and how long Finlay's been a professional wrestler. And I know that he's a 4th generation wrestler, and there's a lot of stuff to unpack there, and there's a lot that comes with it and a lot of knowledge. But when you're actually in the ring competing, is a whole different game. You know, you could be born into this, and there's certain things that you might be good at, but I think I'm faster, and I'm gonna use that to my ability, and I think I'm just smarter. I'm not sure if I'm gonna beat him in the wrestling game, but I think that I'll out-submission him pretty easily, and I'm gonna be looking to transition into probably the best tool that I have in my toolbox, which is an armbar, straight armbar. I can hit it from all kinds of different places. I'll make him go through his rope escapes as quickly as possible, and I'll finally get it on, and it won't even matter, and he'll be forced to tap. Don't think for a second that you know, this old dog doesn't have a couple of tricks left. When they talk about Rocky Romero in the history books, they're gonna talk about multiple-time ROH Tag Team Champion, 8-time IWGP Junior Tag Team Champion. They're gonna talk about me being Black Tiger 4. They're gonna talk about me being IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, but they're gonna talk about Rocky Romero being the ROH Pure Champion, how he won that tournament, and David Finlay is just a side note in Rocky Romero's world. And I'm gonna walk out ROH Pure Champion at the end of this tournament. You better believe it.
I'm Quinn McKay, and I am here with my esteemed colleagues, Caprice Coleman and Ian Riccaboni. We just put week 1 of the Pure Title Tournament for Ring of Honor in the books, and man, did we see a lot.
We sure did. Both the tag team champions advanced in their respective blocks. Jay Lethal defeating Dalton Castle in the red block, and then we had Jonathan Gresham defeating a very game Wheeler Yuta in the silver block, but they could face in the finals if they get 2 more victories apiece.
And if you think about it, that being the first round, I mean, Dalton Castle and Jay Lethal in the first block, that's main event status anywhere.
It's incredible. And this coming week, Quinn, we're going to see some names that are familiar to Ring of Honor fans that we haven't seen on Ring of Honor television in a minute. We're going to see David Finlay returning to Ring of Honor, taking on a guy he considers a mentor in Rocky Romero. And we're going to see a match that's about 16 years in the making, if not 20 years. Matt Sydal, Delirious have known each other for almost 20 years.
The returning Matt Sydal.
Incredible, right?
Yeah.
All of these names coming to Ring of Honor for what it's all about, right, Caprice? The pure wrestling tournament.
It's almost like teacher versus student and best friend versus best friend from a long time. So we're going to see who comes out on top.
But I have a burning question for you guys.
Okay, is it burning?
Burning question.
Okay.
All right, listening? Who you got?
Oh, man. I will be honest. This tournament, I feel, has Jonathan Gresham's name written all over it.
Okay, that's true.
However, there are a lot of people in this tournament that I've seen have been turning some eyes.
I think David Finlay's been on a roll ever since World Tag League, since Wrestle Kingdom, when he and Juice won the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles. In the New Japan Cup USA, David Finlay, if he gets past Rocky Romero, he's going to be a really tough out in this tournament.
These are all really, really good options. Really great contenders, guys.
There's some wild cards in this thing as well, like
Red Yay
High.
My dark horse, hot sauce, Tracy Williams.
Hey, I can't disagree with that at all.
Mic drop.
You could have dropped the microphone, probably just would cost you a lot of money.
That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah, but it's going to be a great tournament. We're looking forward to calling next week, and we'll be back with a recap next week about the same time, right, Quinn?
Absolutely.